There is one habit that quietly shapes destinies, simple, powerful, and transformative. It's about showing up again and again, no matter how you feel. That's why starting small is so important. Real change doesn't come from trying to do everything at once. It comes from simple, manageable steps done with care. Begin with something so small that it feels almost effortless. If you want to meditate, start with just 2 minutes a day. If you want to practice stillness, pause for just a breath before reacting. If you want to reflect, write one sentence. These small acts don't look powerful, but they are. They send a signal to your mind that change is possible. They build confidence without pressure. Over time, they create momentum. As the days pass, your small habit becomes familiar. It becomes part of who you are. Add a minute, a few more steps, a bit more silence. That's when you can slowly build on it. Because you didn't rush, you're not burning out, you're growing steadily. And steady growth is sustainable. When you do something repeatedly, even if it's small, it begins to leave a mark not only on your life, but on your mind. The mind doesn't like being pushed too hard. It resists sudden change, but it adapts beautifully to gradual effort. When you respect that rhythm, your journey becomes smoother. You stop struggling to change, and instead, begin to evolve naturally. Small beginnings lead to lasting progress. You may feel tempted to do more, faster, but remember, this is not a race. Every mighty tree began as a seed. Every strong foundation began with a single stone. If you want your transformation to last, let it unfold at its own pace. Don't compare your journey to others. Don't feel ashamed of small starts. They are sacred. Every great change begins in quiet moments. What matters is that you begin and that you continue. Even the longest path starts with one step. Take that step today, and then take another tomorrow. If you feed it to calmness each day, calmness grows. Soon you'll realize that those small steps have led you somewhere extraordinary. Start small, stay consistent, and allow greatness to grow naturally. The teachings emphasize that the mind is shaped by what it regularly engages in. If you feed it negativity, that grows too. The power lies in what you choose to do repeatedly. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they act, but motivation is fleeting. Some days it's there, other days it's not. Relying on motivation is like depending on the weather, but consistency is like building shelter. It protects and provides, regardless of conditions. It doesn't demand grand gestures or overnight changes. Whether it's meditation, journaling, walking in silence, or pausing to reflect, doing it daily without fail builds inner strength. It's not about how long you do it or how well. What matters most is that you do it. Progress flows naturally from persistence, and persistence is born from consistency. When you keep returning to a practice, you're telling your mind, this matters. And eventually it listens. It adjusts. It becomes lighter, more peaceful. One day you'll look back and see just how far you've come. But that day won't come if you keep starting and stopping. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Remember, water shapes stone not through force, but through steady drops over time. Don't get discouraged if some days feel pointless. Keep going. The strength you're building is invisible, but it's real. In the same way your daily effort shapes your character, keep dropping the water. Keep showing up. That is where true transformation begins. Instead, it works in silence, through repetition. This habit is the mindful commitment to daily practice. It's the slow-burning fuel of real change. Rooted in ancient wisdom, it holds the power to reshape our thoughts, emotions, and outcomes. When embraced, it can truly change your life forever. Lesson 1. Consistency is key. Consistency is not about perfection. This habit creates a rhythm that stabilizes the mind and heart. Lesson 2. Start small, build gradually. Big goals often feel inspiring at first, but when the excitement fades, they can feel overwhelming. This gentle, patient approach honors the nature of the mind. Lesson 3. Discipline fuels progress. Discipline is often misunderstood. It's not about punishment or forcing yourself through pain. It's about honoring your highest intention, even when it's difficult. They remind you that you are not controlled by mood or circumstance. You're guided by purpose, and that's liberating. True freedom doesn't mean doing whatever you want whenever you want. It means doing what truly matters, even when it's uncomfortable. They shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your direction. Even small, simple actions, when done every day, begin to stack up. Like drops of water filling a jar, they quietly build something powerful. Many people look for dramatic moments to change their lives, but transformation doesn't happen in a single event. It happens in the quiet repetition of what you do daily. A few minutes of reflection every morning, a moment of mindfulness before each meal, a calm breath before sleep. These actions may seem insignificant on their own, but over weeks and months, they create deep change. They rewire your responses, they calm your reactions, they bring you closer to peace. Discipline gives you that freedom. It's what allows your good habits to become your way of life. That's enough to build a habit that changes your life. The key is to remain steady. When you commit to daily action, you create a rhythm that becomes your foundation. That rhythm carries you through distractions and temptations. Even when life feels uncertain, Your daily habit grounds you. It reminds you that you are in control of your direction. Over time, this repetition becomes your new normal. You don't have to think about it, it just flows. That's when the true power of compounding begins. Each day builds on the one before. Each repetition deepens the habit, and soon, what felt like effort becomes ease. You begin to feel different, think different, live different, not because of one big decision, but because of 1,000 small ones. Don't underestimate the power of your daily actions. And as you apply it gently but firmly, the mind starts to cooperate. Watch how it builds. Watch how it grows. Over time, this small, daily effort becomes a force that lifts you up and reshapes your entire life. You'll realize that real change was never about doing more. It was about doing something meaningful again and again. The resistance weakens. The excuses fade. Your actions become smoother, more natural. Discipline also helps you conserve energy. Instead of spending time deciding whether to follow your routine, you just do it. It becomes part of your flow. This reduces stress and increases peace. Remember, discipline doesn't mean being hard on yourself, it means being firm but kind, gentle but committed. It's the decision to keep going when your emotions try to pull you off track. The goal is not to be perfect, but to keep showing up. The stronger your discipline, the deeper your transformation. So stay committed to your daily habit. Let discipline be your ally, not your enemy. Trust that with each act of discipline, you're moving forward, even if you don't see the results yet. Progress is not always visible in the moment, but it's always unfolding. Stay the course. Your future self will thank you for the strength you built today. Discipline is an act of self-respect. It says, I choose what's best for me, not what's easiest. In the path of self-transformation, discipline acts like a compass. It keeps you oriented toward growth, even on hard days. Without it, you drift. With it, you stay centered. Every time you follow through with your promise to yourself, you build trust. And that trust creates inner strength. If you say you'll meditate and you do, even when it's inconvenient, your confidence grows. If you promise yourself quiet reflection and honor it, even when distracted, your clarity deepens. These small acts of discipline create power. When you stumble, don't punish yourself, realign. Lesson 4. Daily actions compound. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Daily actions create your identity. You don't have to do everything. Just do one thing every day. That's enough to create movement. Don't wait for motivation or a perfect plan. Choose one simple action that aligns with your peace and do it today. Then repeat it tomorrow and the next day. Lesson 5. Overcome inertia. Inertia is that heavy feeling that keeps you stuck. It tells you, I'll start tomorrow. It whispers excuses. It waits for the perfect mood, the perfect time, the perfect energy. And while you wait, days pass. Opportunities fade. The mind becomes more restless. Overcoming inertia is the first real victory on any path of change. We run from it, distract ourselves, or numb it with habits. You begin to notice that it's not permanent, it comes and goes. And within it, you often find unexpected insights. And that changes everything. Don't chase comfort, seek truth. And truth often lives in discomfort. When it arrives, don't close the door. Invite it in. Sit with it, listen, because within discomfort lies the key to your next level. Welcome it not with fear, but with faith. Growth is rarely easy, but it's always worth it. Embrace discomfort and watch how you rise. Maybe you realize you're stronger than you thought. Maybe you discover what truly matters to you. Maybe you see that fear is just a shadow, not a wall. This practice trains you to stay with yourself, even when things feel hard. That's powerful, because most people abandon themselves when discomfort arises, but not you. You've chosen the path of courage. That courage builds emotional strength. The more you allow discomfort to be part of your path, the more unshakable you become. But real growth lives just beyond that uncomfortable space. When you avoid discomfort, you also avoid transformation. But when you embrace it gently, mindfully, you begin to build resilience. The teachings remind us that suffering isn't in discomfort itself, but in the resistance to it. When you stop fighting discomfort, it loses its power over you. It becomes part of your journey, not a block in your path. Think of discomfort like a signal. It means you are moving in the direction of change. Whether it's the discomfort of sitting still in silence, facing a hard truth, or breaking an old habit, that feeling is not punishment, it's proof that you're doing something new. And the mind doesn't like new, it prefers comfort zones. But nothing grows there. It begins with movement, any movement. The moment you take the first step, the spell breaks, the resistance weakens, the energy shifts. You don't have to do everything at once. Just do one small thing. Sit in silence for a minute. Write down one thought. Take one mindful breath. These simple acts can unlock something inside. Once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. The hardest part is getting started. That's why the most powerful habit is the habit of beginning every day, no matter how you feel. Don't wait for the perfect mindset. Don't believe the voice that says it won't matter. Every action you take chips away at inertia. Every time you show up, even if it's clumsy, you're building momentum. That momentum is what makes progress feel natural. You don't need to conquer everything today. Just move forward, even slightly. Progress doesn't require force. It requires movement. 1 inch forward is better than standing still. The more you practice overcoming inertia, the lighter you'll feel. The heavy weight of procrastination lifts. Your confidence grows. You realize that you are not stuck, you are just paused, and you have the power to press play. There's deep strength in that. Life responds to action. The moment you act, the universe begins to support you. People, ideas, and energy begin to align. But they can only meet you if you start. Don't let fear of imperfection keep you frozen. Take a breath and move. That small act of courage is enough. And once you're in motion, keep going. Let that motion become your habit. Overcoming inertia is not about intensity, it's about initiation. And once you master the art of beginning, you unlock the door to every transformation you seek. Don't wait. Begin now. Lesson 6. Embrace discomfort. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's a messenger. It tells you that something is growing, stretching, or changing. Often, we resist discomfort. Stepping into discomfort teaches you presence. It demands attention. And when you give discomfort your presence instead of your panic, something shifts. You stop fearing difficulty. You stop avoiding the unknown. You trust that whatever arises, you can face it. Lesson 7. Track your journey. Awareness is a form of wisdom, and tracking your journey helps you build that awareness. When you reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your progress, you become more conscious of your growth. You begin to see patterns, what helps you, what hinders you. Without tracking, it's easy to feel lost. You may be making progress but not see it. You may be improving but not feel it. That's why it's so powerful to write things down. You reinforce your progress. You remind yourself that what you're doing matters, and that feeling of encouragement fuels more movement. Often, we focus only on what's left to do. We forget to pause and appreciate what's already been done. But celebrating along the way brings joy to the journey. It gives your heart a reason to keep going. You don't need fireworks or applause, you just need acknowledgement. A quiet smile, a note to yourself, a small reward, something that says, I see my growth. When you honor your efforts, you create positive energy. That energy sustains you through harder days. It lifts your spirit, it brings balance to the effort. This practice is also an act of self-love. It makes the invisible visible. It shows you where you started, where you stumbled, and how far you've come. Tracking doesn't have to be complicated. You can write 1 line a day, a feeling, a thought, a simple note, today I showed up. That's enough. Over time, those notes become a map of your transformation. They remind you that even on the days you felt stuck, you were still moving. Tracking also helps you notice your inner world. You start to understand how your habits affect your emotions, how your thoughts shape your day. This awareness leads to better choices. You start to catch yourself earlier when negativity creeps in. You make adjustments with clarity. Tracking gives you feedback, and feedback is the mirror that helps you grow. It's not about judgment, it's about understanding. Be honest with yourself, but also kind. If you skipped a day, that's okay. Write it down, learn from it, and return the next day. Progress isn't a straight line. It's a winding path. Your notes remind you that the path is still yours. Even when it twists, they keep you connected to your intention. Tracking also builds gratitude. As you look back, you'll see things you forgot to celebrate. Small wins, quiet victories, moments of strength. You'll feel proud not because everything was perfect, but because you didn't give up. Make it part of your routine. A few moments each day, pen and paper, or a digital note, whatever feels right. The habit of tracking is the habit of honoring your effort, and that alone is transformative. When you pay attention to your journey begins to pay you back. With wisdom, with clarity, with confidence. Track your steps, witness your growth, and never forget you are further along than you think. Lesson 8. Celebrate milestones. Every step forward, no matter how small, deserves recognition. When you celebrate your milestones, many people are quick to criticize themselves when they fall short, but they forget to praise themselves when they succeed. Shifting that pattern is powerful. It teaches the mind to look for what's right, not just what's wrong. And that shift changes how you feel about yourself, your habits, and your journey. Celebrating milestones also helps build momentum. When you reach a goal and recognize it, you feel encouraged to reach the next. You're no longer chasing results in the distance, you're living with appreciation in the present. That makes the path lighter, more joyful, more meaningful. What will I do differently next time? Use the setback as fuel, not a weight. Growth is rarely smooth. In fact, the biggest leaps often come after the hardest falls. Why? Because they wake you up. They humble you. They bring clarity. If you never made a mistake, you'd never learn. So don't hide from your setbacks. Face them. Thank them. Then move forward with new wisdom. When you normalize failure, you become fearless. You stop walking on eggshells. You start walking with strength. And that confidence builds with each comeback. Setbacks also remind you of your commitment. They test it. They ask, do you really want this? When you rise again, you answer, yes. And that answer has power. It makes your habit stronger. It builds character. And it teaches you one of the most sacred lessons of all: nothing can stop you if you refuse to stop trying. So the next time you fall behind, take a breath, forgive yourself, learn something, and start again. The path is not lost. It's just waiting for you to return. Let your setbacks shape you, not shrink you. Let them build your strength, not your shame. Every fall is a chance to rise wiser, braver, better. Keep rising. These milestones could be anything: meditating every day for a week, responding with patience instead of anger, or simply showing up when it would have been easier to quit. Don't minimize your wins. Every effort counts. Every step forward deserves respect. When you make a habit of celebrating progress, you train your mind to see growth as something to enjoy, not endure. That attitude creates a loving discipline, one that doesn't push from pressure, but pulls from purpose. So take time today to reflect on how far you've come. Everyone faces moments when they feel like giving up, but what matters most is how you respond when things don't go as planned. Do you give up, or do you grow up? Every setback carries a lesson. It shows you where something wasn't working. It reveals where your energy was misaligned. If you approach it with an open heart, a stumble can become your greatest teacher. But first, you must let go of shame. Many people feel ashamed when they fall behind. They think, I've ruined everything. But you haven't. Missing a step doesn't mean you've lost the journey. It just means you're human, and the way back is always open. The teachings remind us to treat ourselves with compassion, not harshness. Write it down, smile at your progress, share it with someone, or simply whisper to yourself, I'm proud of what I've done. That quiet celebration is enough. It keeps the fire of effort burning. Celebrate now, not just when you arrive, because the journey itself is filled with moments worth honoring. Lesson 9. Learn from setbacks. Setbacks are not failures, they're part of the path. Everyone stumbles. When you fall, don't yell at yourself, lift yourself. Sit in stillness, reflect on what happened. Ask yourself, what did I learn?